students, hearty welcome to our online class 7 and subject science. Today we are stepping into the next unit, unit 2, and the name of the unit is Universe and Space. My goal is simple. It is a complete understanding of the universe, why it is as it is and why it exists at all, which is said by Stephen Hawking. The universe consists of galaxies, planets, stars, meteorites, satellites and all other forms of matter and energy, and it is a world of wonder. So we do enjoy and we do wonder about our universe, right? So our universe has lots and lots of galaxies. We do have planets, stars, meteorites and all other various kinds of energies and matters also. And in this unit we are going to see a topic called geocentric theory. Sky is a wonder. Sun, moon, stars all appear to rise in the east and move towards the west, giving us an impression that all these objects are going around the earth. Just as in a moving bus, the distant mountains and trees appear to move backwards. Perhaps really earth is spinning, and that's why sun, moon and stars appear to go around the earth. Does the earth revolve around the sun, or the sun revolves around the earth? Can you say whether the earth revolves around the sun or the sun revolves around the earth? When you look at the night sky, you can able to see you can see the lots and lots of twinkling objects, but a few of them differ from the others. They don't twinkle, and while other stars hold a fixed pattern, from night to night these drift. Our ancestors observed this and they called a universe with the earth at the center, the stars in the distant background and the sun, moon and planets orbiting around us. Two observations supported the idea that earth was in the center of the universe. First, from anywhere on the earth, the sun appears to revolve around the earth once in a day. While the moon and the planets have their own motions, they also appear to revolve around the earth about once per day. Even the celestial sphere, studded with stars, appear to rise and set in the evening and make one complete rotation in a year. Second, the earth seems to be unmoving from the perspective of an earthbound observer. It feels stationary. So, in case of geocentric theory, geocentric model is a description of the universe with spherical and spinning earth at the center, and the sun, moon, stars and planets will all orbits the earth emerged in various cultures. In Greece, this model was put forth by the Greek philosopher Plato and his disciple Aristotle in 6th century BC. It was standardized by a Greco-Roman mathematician who is said to be Ptolemy in the 2nd century AD. A similar model is seen in the Siddhantic astronomy in India, like Aryabhatyam of Aryabhatta. So according to geocentric theory, where our earth will be in the center and all the remaining planets and all the remaining satellites will all revolve around the earth. That is said to be geocentric model, and this model was initially put forth by Plato, followed by his disciple Aristotle. That is said to be geocentric theory, which means earth will be in the center position and all the other remaining objects will revolve around the earth. That is said to be geocentric model. Now we shall see about the next topic, that is moon exhibiting phases. Astronomers in ancient times also observed certain facts. The Purananuru of Sangam literature, the poet Kalathalayar, singing in appreciation of Chairman Perunjayrathan, says, on the day when the full moon appears, the sun and the moon look at each other with a bright light. In the evening time, one spear hides behind the mountains. On the full moon day, when the sun is setting in the west, precisely at the same time moon rises at the east. That is, both sun and moon are in the opposite sides. Likewise, when it is waning half moon, the moon rises when it is midnight, and the waxing half moon rises during noontime. It is probably easier to understand the waxing and waning of moon in the order of new moon and full moon, and then how the first and third quarter moon appear, and then the phase in between. Sun is the source of light. We all know that sun is the source of light. Sunlight falls on the spherical earth, but only on one side facing sun. The opposite side of earth is without sunlight. As the earth spins day and night follows as different parts of the earth appear before the sun. That is, at all times one half of earth is illuminated by the sun and one half is in darkness. So we all know that in case of during daytime, sunlight will be falling on the earth, and those people who are living on that region, they do have daytime, and other side, and the people who are living in the opposite side, they do feel nighttime. So when the moon is positioned between the earth and the sun, notice all the illuminated part of moon is away from the earth. Hence we cannot see any part of the illuminated side of the moon. Only the dark side of the moon is towards the earth. When the moon is in this position, we have new moon. And now we shall see the concept of 4 things, that is waxing, waning, crescent and gibbous, which will be in moon exhibiting phases. The word waxing refers to growing or expanding. Waxing essentially means growing or expanding in illumination, while waning means shrinking or decreasing in the illumination. And then the word crescent refers to moon is less than half illuminated, while the term gibbous refers to moon is more than half illuminated. In this picture you can able to see here, it is to be waxing crescent, and this is new moon, waning crescent, third quarter, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, and then waning gibbous. So the term waxing refers to growing or expanding. So this growing or expanding in the illumination, while waning refers to shrinking or decreasing in the illumination, while the crescent refers to moon will be less than half illuminated, and the gibbous refers to moon is more than half illuminated. So in our today's session we have seen what is meant by geocentric theory and how does the moon will exhibit different phases. Thank you children. Have a nice day.